Hi, this is Simon Phillips, and you are listening to Parkroad Cafe on Radio West.
Parkroad Café.
We are sitting right next to a real, incredible percussion guru. Because when you say drums, you say Simon Phillips. Simon, welcome to the Parkroad Cafe. When I first heard you playing, I thought, man, I didn't know that God was playing the drums.
I hate to disappoint you, but well, that's very sweet of you. Yeah. But I mean, we try our best. You know, we love what we do.
Yeah. The general audience knows you as the drummer from Toto, but there was a life before Toto. Mm-hmm. You were born in 1957. Mm-hmm. It's a good year, by the way.
Oh, you.
I know. I know everything about it. Yeah. What was the little Simon? What small boy was the little Simon?
Playing drums.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I started playing when I was 3.5 years old. Okay. So I've been playing drums and being in music all my life. Yeah.
I'm asking that because your father was a musician also.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he was a band leader, Dixieland dance band. Yeah.
So you're recording. When was your first big break?
Big break?
Yeah.
I think probably the very first was I was 6 years old when he wanted to see how I would do in a studio with his band. So I went along to one of the BBC sessions that he did, which was for radio in those days. And I sat in with the band. I played 2 songs, Sugarfoot Stomp and Aggravating Papa. 6 years old. I still have the tape. It's hilarious.
Yeah.
But, I mean, I think what he wanted to know was, did I have any real talent? Could I learn a piece of music and not get psyched out by being in a studio, start with the band, stop with the band, and play a few figures in between and keep time? That was all I think he really wanted to see, whether it was very basic and, and I pretty much did that. And the tape proves it. I mean, for a 6-year-old to go in and be able to play with other musicians, adults, is it was a wonderful. That I see that really as my first big break. Okay. But for me, there's been lots of big breaks. My whole career.
Mention one
of them. Oh, I mean, every single one from joining my dad's band in 1969 to joining Jesus Christ Superstar in 1973 to doing my first major rock and roll album in a big studio, what was it, Island Studios or something in London, all the way through to playing with all these amazing artists like Pete Townsend, Mick. The Who, being asked to play in the Who, that was great. Right up until 1992 when Toto asked me to play with them.
Because you play everything. You play rock, hard, metal, jazz. What's the kind of music you most like to play?
I like playing it all. You see, I grew up. I started out as a jazz drummer, really as a 30s swing / Dixieland drummer. That's what I learned to play. But it was also the 60s, so I was learning to play pop. Okay? So then I really wanted to play rock and roll, and by the time I was about 16, I swore never to play jazz ever again.
And now?
Well, now I play a lot of it, But, you're a kid, and when you're a kid, you're very focused, you have tunnel vision. And actually, sometimes to achieve something, you need to have that tunnel vision. It's not a bad thing, as long as it doesn't last too long,
Do you know a famous Dutch drummer, Caesar Zuiderwijk?
I've known him for many years, yeah.
Please, he's my cousin, please say something.
To Caesar?
To Caesar.
Hey, Caesar, haven't seen you for a long time. How you doing? I used to come to Holland to do drum festivals and clinics and stuff, and I'd always bump into Caesar back then.
You also knew a colleague of ours, Big Band Elvis Lagarde.
Of course, yeah.
He's a very good close friend of us.
Really?
Yeah.
We see. I met Al when I had joined Toto. Yeah. There was it was an interesting because every circle you get involved in, like whether it's the Who, whether it's Jagger, whether it's Mike Oldfield, everybody has their circle and their friends. They have their record company friends all over the world, and they have their radio DJs. And when I joined Toto, I mean, I don't think I'd ever met Al before, but I was coming into an organization and a situation where, there was a lot of friendships that had been going on for a long time. And I also learned that Al was really responsible for putting Toto on the map.
I've got even got some live tapes from Toto that he mixed in the studio because I have my own studio and I was I made it digital, and I found a 24 track tape.
From what year?
I think it was 1996, 97.
97. I remember that.
And he was mixing it in the studio, and he did a live.
It was a live radio thing, right? Yeah, I remember we went in the studio to do it. Yeah. With Al.
He had a lot of hair, like you.
Oh yeah. We all had
lost everything.
You also, I remember the last album, or I don't know, I'm sure it is the last album, but you dedicated it to Big Bad Al.
Yeah, of course.
I can tell you was
Falling in Between, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I think so.
Okay, Simon, we mentioned Toto. Wasn't it difficult to fill the place for Jeff Pekauer?
Oh, I mean, it's always difficult going into a situation that's been established. And it's difficult for various reasons. First of all, well, musically, everything is difficult. I mean, so you have to learn the music and learn to play it. So my approach to that is always has been, I don't like to copy someone else because, I spent a lot of my life copying all my heroes. But then once you get established, you have to play the way you play. That was one of the reasons why Toto asked me to play in the first place. They didn't want someone to come in and try to be a Jeff clone. And I feel, out of respect for Jeff, you shouldn't do that. Out of respect for Keith Moon, it's the same thing, So that's the first thing, is play the music, and that's what we go into rehearsal room and sort out, and that was great. There's two other aspects. One are the fans. And this is something I had never anticipated. And
how did they react?
Well, I remember very clearly. I think our first Dutch date might have been The Hague, Den Haag. It might have been another place. I actually don't.
No, it's The Hague. It's the most beautiful city of Holland.
Okay, let's say it's that. And I remember when the bus arrived, all these fans, and I went, "Oh wow!" I hadn't considered that part of it. I was so focused on playing the music, playing with a band, and doing a good job. I went, oh, this is a whole different thing. I'd had an experience with that before with The Who, but they never got that close, because The Who was, in the States, was very big. We're playing 70,000 seaters. But you do see all the fans in the first 6 rows, and you get, the first 6 rows are the same every night, on the East Coast anyway, the States. But Toto at that time was playing, much smaller places than The Who, but still pretty big places. But there's more fans around the building, and that was tricky. And I thought, wow, I can understand. I mean, they follow the band, and they're all big fans of Jeff, and Jeff's gone, but the band is still here, and there's a new guy playing drums.
But it's Simon Phillips.
But you can't do anything about that. It's up to them to sort that out. And what I learned, it felt to me that they became my fans very, very quickly, which was lovely. They accepted me. They accepted the fact that if they want Toto to carry on, it's going to be different.
How long did you play with Toto?
Oh, it was 21 years. Yeah.
And your example for many drummers, who was your example?
Gene Krupa. Buddy Rich. Louis Belson. Grady Tate. Bernard Purdy, and people like Ian Pace, Carmine Appice, Cozy Powell. I mean, so many players. Billy Cobham, huge influence. Jeff. I mean, some of the records he played on. Interestingly enough, I always thought Jeff was much older than he was, because he played with a maturity. I felt he always sounded much more mature than I did. It was interesting. Then I only found out that he was only a year older than me, or 2 years older than me, which is interesting. We did very much the same stuff. He was doing it in LA, and I was doing it in London. So I think we had a lot of the same experiences. And even though we met a couple of times, we never really got to know each other. I got to know him posthumously through Luke and through Dave and through Mike. So, which was great. Now I kind of feel, I can even say to myself, I think I know what Jeff would think about this situation.
It's a great feeling.
So bless him.
Something else. How is motor racing?
I haven't done it for a long time, but I still follow it.
Yeah?
Yeah.
You do it yourself?
I used to.
Yeah.
I used to be doing Formula Ford 1600 in Snetterton, in Championship of Snetterton in England.
Never
I
have to
wasn't
fear.
very good.
Never have to fear to break a leg or an arm?
Oh, I was shit scared.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I know. I mean, if you're driving a car competitively, you're scared.
No.
Okay, there's no way about it, because especially when you're learning. I mean, if I was going into a corner and I was going flat, finally,
Yeah.
and the thing's moving about, I mean, you're like, oh, shit, you know. But when you do it, you go, oh, okay. And it's a learning curve. But of course it is. And that's why I did it I was very serious about it. I had a very good crew. And we try to, when you do a sport like that, you try to minimize the risks. Yeah. You do that in the equipment, make sure it's well serviced and prepared, and you make sure you're well prepared. That's really what it is.
It's important.
If a wishbone snaps and bang you around, well then you're a passenger.
Yeah. Do you still have your motorbike?
Oh no, the cars.
The cars. Yeah.
I never drove a motor. Well,
you still have the car?
I did once.
Yeah.
For about 10 yards, and then it fell on me. That hurt.
Okay.
But no, cars, yeah.
Okay. What projects are you doing now?
Well, obviously my big project is Protocol 2 with these guys, with Andy, Steve, and Ernest. It's a project that's very close to my heart. Yeah. I love playing with this band. I love our music, and I'm trying to get this kind of music, instrumental rock with a kind of more of a jazz kind of overtone, to the public. Yeah. I'm trying to get it out there so more people listen to it. So obviously this is a really big thing for me.
You're coming back in November, right? You're coming back in November here.
I am with Hiromi. With the Hiromi Trio project. Yeah. And that's another project which is amazing. It's more jazz. It's jazz with a little bit of classical kind of overtones, I guess. But it's totally different for this. I mean, you'll see the same drum kit, except I'll be sitting over there, because there is a very big piano. Okay. You know, they're both very, very challenging projects. And I think one of the things with I know you're probably dying to ask, why did I leave Toto? Yeah. I'll answer it for you. I just needed to do different things. I needed to have a different challenge musically. Mm-hmm. You know, I mean, the guys and I, we go a long way. We've been through a lot together, and the band has changed over the years. So I just felt, the last few years, I just wasn't really where I think I should have been in my head with it. So I said, I think it's time to move on. Further, move on. So
How's the relation today?
Oh, it's fine. I mean, Luke came to my gig in LA last year. Steve P came to my gig this year. Joseph, I mean, we're still. I wouldn't. Of course we are. Paige, I just had an email from Paige the other day. So no, we'll always keep that friendship. We've been through too much.
At last, please, would you like to promise me, Erik, and all our listeners that you can play it till you are 100 years old?
Oh,
please.
I'm going to try. Yeah. I'll play as long as the body will give me. Yeah. Okay. I'll never give up. At the core of it, I'm a jazz musician. That's what I started doing.
See your heart.
And that's where I'll probably end up. That's I love intriguing, interesting, challenging music.
Your smell is great. What is it for
patchouli? It's a patchouli soap, not the oil, but the soap. It's a natural patchouli soap. Yeah, I have to thank my girlfriend for that. She's very good with that stuff.
Thank you very much, Simon.
All right,
enjoy life.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Parkroad Café.